Hello, he always said to Thomas. Don't let the silly freight cars tease you. Remember, you have an important job as a special helper in the train yard. Help! Help! A freight train came rushing through much too fast. The engine was James, and he was frightened. His brake blocks were on fire. They're pushing me! They're pushing me! He panted. On! Laughed the freight cars, still whistling, help! Help! Poor James disappeared. I'd like to teach those freight cars a lesson, said Thomas the tank engine.
Soon came the alarm.
James is off the line! The breakdown train! Quickly! James's driver and firemen were feeling him all over to see if he was hurt. Never mind, James, they said. It was those silly freight cars and your old wooden brakes that caused the accident. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting anxiously for them. Well, Thomas, he said, I've heard all about it, and I'm very pleased with you. You're a really useful engine. James shall have some proper brakes and a new coat of paint, and you shall have a branch line all to yourself. Oh, thank you, sir, said Thomas.
Peter Sam felt much better after his long... Let's break away, they giggled. Their loads were heavy and the couplings old. One snapped. Faster, faster, shouted the trucks. A sign read, slow, steep bends and ravine ahead, but the silly trucks never saw it. Then it was too late. Peter Sam arrived at the scene of the disaster. His driver sighed. This was our fault, we didn't secure them properly. We'll have to get help to pull them out. The fat controller will be very annoyed. You will shunt trucks in the yards till I can trust you again. Duncan was delighted with Peter Sam's dilemma. Woo, woo, woo. Well, I'll tell you a story that'll make your funnel quiver, Rusty said. A long time ago, a little engine was returning home. It was a misty, moonlit night. As the engine crossed the old iron bridge, he suddenly lost control and plunged over the side into the swamps below. He was never found again. But many a workman will tell you that when the moon is full, they have seen the little engine trying to get home, but he never reaches the other side. So what do you think of that, Duncan? Pah, nonsense, replied Duncan, and he puffed away. When night fell, they set off. The moon was full, and the mists were rising around the old iron bridge. Duncan whistled, and the sound echoed everywhere. Then ahead, he saw flickering lights. His driver knew they were only little insects that shine brightly at night, but to Duncan, they looked like an engine. Next, his driver secretly threw a rock from the cab into the ravine below. It's the ghost! Take me back, please! When Duncan reached the safety of his shed, he closed his eyes tightly. Spooked, are you, Duncan? Laughed his driver. No, wailed Duncan, I'm asleep, and refused to open his eyes. Take me back, please.
Don't let the silly freight cars tease you. Help! Help! A freight train came rushing through much too fast. This was our fault, we didn't secure them properly.
We'll have to get help to pull them out. The Fat Controller will be very annoyed.
I'd like to teach those freight cars a lesson. James shall have some proper brakes and a new coat of paint. Help! Help! A freight train came rushing through much too fast. His brake blocks were on fire.
Take me back! Take me back, please!